like Shoaib Saab said, and you said, Ismail Saab, that what he's done for the American people. I mean, if they only knew.
If they
If
only
they
knew.
only knew. If they only knew. And I feel like it's up to people like ourselves to show people and let people know
All right.
what he's done and the generations of African American Muslims he's saved. It's up to us to let people know. You know, it's that story needs to be told as well.
I mean, so he basically said if they only knew, and that story needs to be told, and then proceeded to tell nothing. He didn't say anything.
But
I mean, if they only knew that Jelani actually was an ISI asset, that he was working for Pakistani intelligence. I'll help you out. If you only knew that, then maybe they would think differently.
Well, if they only knew that their sheikh said that they shouldn't follow an overweight sheikh.
If they only knew he had your wives over there making him food the whole time.
Nah, if they only knew that his grandma was capping, she told a lie when she said Ali radiallahu anhu came and took him up and taught him anything. If they only knew that was a lie.
If they only knew that Ali speaks Arabic and not Urdu.
if they only knew Hut Lamakan is not a real thing.
It's a cave in Pakistan.
Sure it is, John. For sure it is.
If they only knew that Jelani's own father did not trust him enough to even take over the family business and gave it to his cousin instead. If they only knew that.
If they only knew that Mubarak Jelani actually considered African Americans slaves.
Wow.
If they only knew he was a cuck. Man, it starts out the only white person. This man starts out the only Caucasian man in the whole Jama'ah and was like, listen, this halal has to be for my someone. It ain't gonna be any of you blacks, all right? So go find me Matthew Gardner.
If they only knew Matthew.
I know what he's gonna say. Oh, y'all.
If they only knew Matthew Gardner.
I can't say it. We're going to have to skip you.
We have to skip you, man.
If they only knew that their future imam would use she, her pronouns.
If they only knew their current respectful Khalifa, all right, Hussein Adams was a member of the astrology club, right, and used Tauruses and signs and all that dumb stuff.
If they only knew that Matthew Gardner had the hips of a black man.
So stupid.
If they only knew that Mubarak Jelani hasn't actually done anything tangible for any African American Muslims.
Yeah. If they only knew that Mubarak Jelani is his claim to fame or his ability as a sheikh is based on his ability just to read from books to you, and you're better readers than him. If you only knew, you could do a better job at being a sheikh for yourself than he does, because at least you understand.
If they only knew that when Jelani said he turned into a bird, this was the bird.
Oh my God. Yo, you broke out the bird? That bird ain't flying nowhere.
What do you mean? This is a Sufi bird, all right? And it's a coach.
Man, you wasn't supposed to bring out the bird.
He's going back to his number one spot. That's what he did.
I told you I had one.
Oh, man.
If you only knew that, you know, when that one of Jelani's go-to moves is to force young girls into marrying him. Just put enough pressure on them directly or on their parents to get married, and that is how all the wives that he did have that didn't leave him, that's what they were. The rest of them, like the adults that he married, they bounced. If you only knew that.
And if they only knew that all of Jelani's testosterone was actually passed on to his daughter Fatima.
If they only knew the other half of his testosterone went to Noor.
If they only knew that when Hussein Adams was saying that Jelani is having all types of pain due to the sins of the community, if they only knew that actually he just has diabetes and he was having diabetic nerve pain in his feet, because, well, that's what happens to people who overeat and don't take care of their health, don't care to take care of their body. They get diabetes, and then that diabetes takes over their body to where they can't walk and they have to get their feet bandaged up. Like, I mean, we've seen the pictures where his feet are bandaged up and all that. So if they only knew that actually that pain that was allegedly coming from the community because of their sins, it just was diabetic nerve pain because he didn't take care of himself.
If they only knew that he had one of the Tmoa doctors subscribe him medical marijuana to manage that holy pain that he was receiving.
If they only knew that when K2 fought the Jinn, him and Jelani both got their ass beat.
The Jinn's name was Mayweather.
If they only knew that Jelani ordered one of his followers to kill someone, and when that follower refused because killing someone actually was a friend of his is actually bad and haram, he actually then tried to have that person killed. They only knew.
If they only knew drinking water with hair in it actually didn't protect them from COVID.
If they only knew donating your last dollar to someone who has more money than you is stupid.
If they only knew that when he allegedly was in the truck that was overheating, and that it stopped overheating when he put the water in it, that probably because he put the water in the reservoir and then it stopped overheating for that time, then it boiled out and then it started overheating again. That's all it was. It's not a magic, it's not a miracle or anything like that.
If they only knew at the end of the story that he complains because the villagers ran him out of the city saying that he was a magician.
Oh my God. If they only knew that none of his sons are qualified because he wasn't qualified himself to teach.
If they only knew that he was, even though he allegedly was the sixth sultan, the Mujaddid of the century, and a sheikh so big that he can dub other people, unqualified people, Sheikh al-Islam, his own son not only had to go some random place and get educated, but he actually hates education altogether and has abandoned any sort of seeking any sort of knowledge, whether it be secular or Islamic.
If they only knew 40 years ago that 4 decades later they would be in a worse spot they were when they started.
Yep. If they only knew that Hamil and perfect are the same word. So when they say perfect, Murshid Hamil, they're saying perfect, Murshid perfect.
If they only knew that while they were doing all types of economic gymnastics to get their bills paid and to try to make ends meet over the years, the money that they were giving to Jelani, he was frivolously giving it away to his friends to do random risky business, and he was getting taken for a ride and getting his money stolen from him to the tune of millions of dollars.
if they knew that Mubarak Jelani, even within his own family, was considered Islamically deviant and ignorant.
If they only knew that when y'all asked for names for your kids from heaven, it was actually Onur naming them.
Yes. If they only knew that his claim to fame, being the sixth sultan, was actually plagiarized from another deviant Sufi group that he was a part of and got bounced from.
If they only knew that Mubarak Jelani had multiple parents commit crimes, murders, assassination, spent years in jail, on the run, hiding in different countries, while Mubarak Jelani actually never did anything himself.
Mm-hmm.
If they only knew he wasn't on the no-fly list, he just didn't want to pay for 2 tickets. All right.
I see what
Yo.
you did. I see what you did.
Oh
See,
man.
I think I'm out of what's it called?
If they only
The
knew.
safe ones. I think I'm
Yeah.
out of the safe ones.
Yeah, right.